So, yeah, I got on Marketplace again. Are you ready to go buy another one? No. Or look at another one? I don't know. Okay, me and Ralphie got the trailer hooked up. We got all the kids loaded up. We're gonna go check this thing out. I think you guys will like it. It's a little strange, like me. We would have brought Rocky with us, but this is gonna be over an hour drive away from our home there and back. So I don't know that I want to billy goat my lap for over 2 hours, really. Yeah. I was a boy. I grew up on a cattle farm. That means I'm a cowboy. Wawa.
Really?
Yeah. I love these little hubcaps it's got. This is the only casing that will wear up. Well, we did again. We bought it. I just couldn't leave it. I had to save it. Two-door wagon. It's got cool hubcaps. I mean, what are you gonna do? So it needs everything, just like most of the ones I buy. But really cool guy here. Got a car lot where he deals in specialty stuff. So we're gonna head home with this thing. She's definitely a project, but man, how cool is that? The roof rack and everything, two-door wagon. I love the little tiny body style. This thing was last tiled in 1979. It's got like 46,000 miles on it. So I don't know why it got parked. He didn't know for sure either. Let me show you the inside. It's the interior is not the best interior I've ever seen. You know, it needs a little bit of interior work. There you go. It's got 43,000 miles on it. So let's get this thing home. We stopped here at the Sequoia Birthplace Museum in Tennessee because I'm a history nut and I'm trying to brainwash these kids into being the same way. So let's go in here and see what they got.
Nation, a child was born. Sequoia. He would become.
Wow. Little scissors. Dude, that's Magua. I've seen the movie. What's he doing here?
On creating a written language for the Cherokees. Tackling a challenge that
led through the hardships and accomplishments of my life.
I didn't realize there was that many different Indian tribes. That's amazing. Let's go to these cabins. Well, that was pretty cool. The Sequoia Birthplace Museum is really neat. Check it out if you're near Riceville, Tennessee. Who approves of this?
Not me. I approve.
It's a little rough in there, huh?
I don't like it. Yeah.
You don't like it, Squeezy?
It doesn't have that fancy on it.
Ralphie, what do you think?
It's a little project.
It's a project. It is very much a project. Well, you know, the first thing we do around here, we gotta give it the big shot, the PB blaster. Everything in here is gonna be stuck. Just give it a good spray. That thing right there, man, that looks like a nightmare. it's all seized up. You need to go ahead and spray your wheel cylinders and stuff too, guys, when you get them. So I've decided, since this thing is in such rough condition, that I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up first before we do anything. Because if I drop this thing in the grass, it's gonna be too far away from here to be able to clean it out good. And I don't want to drop it in my shop and then not be able to clean it in there either. You know, I can't pressure wash in my shop. So I'm going to go ahead and walk around this and show it to you guys and show you what it looks like right now. And we are going to start cleaning this thing up and see what it turns out like. This windshield is in terrible shape. I think a lot of it will clean off, but you know, that hazy white stuff is obviously not going to clean off. Let me show you the inside a little better. So we're going to start in here. I'm gonna get all this trim and stuff out. I've actually been trying to open the back gate and the passenger door to no avail. So we might work on that a little bit more, but I'll show you here what else is going on. We got a broken driver's seat. I figured that one out. But I realized if this was just some normal old car, if it was a clapped out Honda Civic or something, we would have just left it where she was. And but you gotta save stuff like this, guys. I mean, where are you gonna find another two-door wagon like this? I mean, to get rid of this car would be a shame. I absolutely love this roof rack. I just love a silly little, I think it's aluminum roof rack like this. All right, let's start getting this trim and stuff out of here. Be careful, Ralphie. Don't bend it, okay? You won't never find another one, probably. Got the old breather. Looks like it's got some drain holes already. So that thing's probably going to be no good to anybody. Here you go, Ralphie. Look, I mean, what has a cooler emblem than that? That is just the coolest emblem right there. You like that emblem? Check that out. Take a lightning bolt. Oh man, look. We got all the emblems here. Kadett, automatic. What's this say? I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't remember cursive. GM. I'm not sure what this stuff is. It says Ford, so some of this may not be for this car even. Looks like the rest of this stuff is just little pieces of interior, the headliner, or whatever that I brought and fell down. I think the rest of that's just trash. Look how deep all this stuff is in the floor. I'm just got to get my gloves on and dig that out and throw it in a trash can. I don't know. I guess this is the headliner and the carpet. Back up, buddy. I don't want you breathing it. Yeah, this is about like the 67 Thunderbird, except for it's not so much dirt. I think it's, I don't know, interior and animal poop probably, and water. I don't know what it is. I don't know what this is. This is the seat stuffing. I don't know what that's made out of. Probably something that's illegal now in the lower 48. Gosh, this is deep. Why do I always end up buying cars like this? Oh, that's right, because I can't afford better ones. Man, this thing is just covered with trash everywhere. Crazy. I just pulled out a piece of interior, and I think it had an ashtray connected to it. I better keep that one. I may just have to pull this back seat completely out if I can get it out of here. Oh, well, there's my trailer floor. I could see that the floor was hanging down on that side. I knew it was going. I haven't really found any goodies yet. Just a bunch of junk, really. This looks like the bathroom floor after I shaved my back. I think I'm going to leave that little ball down in there. That way, if we hit a bump too hard, it gives you a bump stop. I think I figured out how to take the seat out. You just pull on it. Lord. Wow. What all is under here? It looks like the seat frame just rotted where it's at. into a bunch of little pieces and all the stuffing fell out. Gosh, this is just, where does it end? Probably my trailer floor is where it ends. Let's see if I can figure out, there we go. Oh man, can you imagine what this looked like when it was new? Wouldn't you love to be able to buy one new off the lot today? This thing probably only sold for like 2 or 3 grand when it was new. I think this is the only nice paint on the entire vehicle, was right here. You can see how bad these windows leaked. I mean, it's probably been pouring water in here when it rains, and I don't know why people leave them outside. You can't do that to cars. That's kind of cool. Oh look, we got a jack. And there's our outside mirror. Man, look at that crazy jack. I don't think I've ever seen one like that. That's really neat. Man, what a mess. We filled this whole trash can up already. Just my shoveling it. All right, I think that's about all I can get by hand. Time to get the Turd Sucker 9000 in here and get everything out. This is the whole back seat frame just fell out. Perfect. Let's see what's in this vacuum. Oh my gosh. Hey, there's one thing about it. This thing will be a lot easier to unload now. It's 200 pounds lighter. What's he doing? Moving that hay bale around? Look at him. Surprisingly, these door panels look pretty good. I'm gonna see how well they clean up. Hopefully this junk will come off the glass too. It must be on the outside of the car. So the rear trim panel's off, and I can see the rod, and it don't matter what you do. It's like this latch is messed up in here. It's all rusted up. I guess I'll have to soak it in PB Blaster. Do your magic. Well, it says Kadett L. I guess that's what those emblems are. L? What's that stand for? I'll have to look it up. I don't know what that is. It must be on the outside. I hope it's not ruined. Check out the cool Opel emblem in the middle of the horn button there too. That's awesome. So this thing, believe it or not, has air conditioning. Now the compressor looks like it's missing off the engine, but it's got this like cool underdash unit like they had back in the 60s. And man, I'm surprised this thing can even pull itself with the air conditioner running, because you know it's got to be underpowered. So what kind of gauges do we have here? Temperature, and it says tank. I don't know if I've ever seen a car that just says tank, like gas tank. And it looks like it has over 100 mile per hour speedometer. Also seems very sketchy to me to go over 100 in this. And that appears to be a clock. So I guess that's all the gauges you have on this thing. We got park, reverse, neutral, drive, second, or S, and low. Well, at least reverse ain't down here like that Rambler, or we would end up in the pond with this thing. Why does the arm rest always get gooped up with extra brown junk? Man, what's on people's skin? Oh, something that's not stuck. It's funny. I guess this is your cup holders. I had an old 63 Nova as my first car, and it had little cup holders like that. I guess that's just for the drive-in picture show. Looks like nothing much left of those. You know, most of those are made of cardboard in there and they just fall apart. I like the switches over here. It looks like a drag car with these switches. I guess 2 of them work. Well, it looks like this is about all we're gonna get out of the interior. I mean, the door panels are not bad. The dash isn't terrible. Pretty much everything else is absolutely terrible except for the back of our seat. Is that metallic P, sir? Pretty sure you ordered metallic P with the family truckster wagon? I guess this is the washer jug that's just turned into powder now. Look, that's rats eating up all that stuff. For sure. This is where your battery sat. You know how that works out. I'm going to start by pressure washing under here. It's really not terribly dirty. It's a little greasy and oily, so we're going to use our super clean foaming degreaser here. And we'll see how it works. I haven't used the foaming kind yet. Oh, foamy. You wouldn't normally want to get anything like this in your carburetor, but I don't think we're going to hurt this carburetor. Yeah, it looks a lot better. I mean, it wasn't terribly dirty, but I mean, look how good the Super Clean did on the intake and carburetor and stuff. Now, like I said, if you had a good car with a good carburetor or a car that ran or something, you do not want to get your distributor wet or your carburetor wet. That's something you don't want to do. Might as well get our casings clean. I mean, look how nice they are. Why wouldn't you clean them? You like the station wagon I got? Is it Rocky approved? Well, we've ran out of daylight. I know it may look like it has some light. It's getting really dark out here. So we're gonna finish this up tomorrow and get the outside cleaned up and see what it looks like. Maybe, I really hope all this stuff will come off the windows. It's really in bad shape there with the windows. Well, now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the video, the old advertising. And I love the little red wagon here, and I wish mine was in that good a shape, but a recurring theme in all this advertising for the Opel Kadett was elephants. I don't know why so many elephants are in all this advertising, but you'll see coming up. Most of the station wagons they showed in these advertising were two-doors, so I don't know if they made more two-door wagons, more four-door wagons. If anybody knows, they can tell me in the comments, but at least the ones they used for the advertising were two-door models, it looked like. But lots of elephants. Elephants are cool, I guess. But I was going to take this time to tell you guys, we have a second channel, Sleeper Dude 2, the number 2, and it shows me at work, some of the stuff I do at work to newer cars, and it also shows some short clips that don't really make it into these long videos, some little highlights and stuff like that. So it'd be great if you guys check that out. Also, we're on Instagram at SleeperDude88, and we're on Facebook at Sleeper Dude. So check out all those if you want to, guys. I really appreciate it. Well, good morning, everybody. I got my morning voice on, and I did some research last night. So this is a 69 Opel Kadett Caravan, but it's really kind of pronounced car-a-van from everything I've read. And they made several different styles of these Kadetts, but the ones that, you know, are rear-wheel drive and kind of similar to this, they made from 62 to 79. And they made this body style right here from 65 to 73. And this is called a Kadett B. And they were sold at Buick dealerships around the U.S., which seems funny to me that this was sold at a Buick dealership, but they're all apparently sold at Buick dealerships around the U.S., and there was about 430,000 of these cars sold between those years, that body style. And they made a 2-door and 4-door notchback. They made a 2-door and 4-door fastback. And they made a 3-door and 5-door Caravan like this. So this, I didn't know if they made 4-door ones, but yeah, they did. And then they made a 2-door coupe model. And they were available with from a 993cc all the way up to a 1897cc engine. And I believe from what I've researched that this has a 1492cc. It's called cam in head motor, which means that the cam is in the head, but it's not on top where the cam doesn't directly push down the valves. It's like the cam's below, and it has, I guess, little short push rods and little short rocker arms, which seems very odd to me. Now, with those different engines that these things came out with, they basically had an engine all the way from like 40-something horsepower all the way up to 90 horsepower, depending on which one you got. And they made, I figured out last night, they made a standard, which was like the base model, and then they made an L, which is this one, so the loser model, and then they made a LS, which was the even better model than this. And depending on, you know, whether it was a 2-door, 4-door wagon, you know, this would probably be the heaviest version since it's a wagon with air. But they were between 1,600 and 2,000 pounds, which, you know, is super light. And this one's an automatic, which is a GM Turbo 180. I didn't even know they made a Turbo 180. My dad might have known that, but I didn't. But 95-inch wheelbase, so it's got a, you know, a short wheelbase. They even made a prototype electric version of this that had 14 lead-acid batteries and would only go 55 miles an hour. But a lot of these, I read, you know, top speed was like 78 miles an hour up to maybe 100, depending on which motor you had. So that's what I found out about these things. Just thought I would share that with you guys. And now we're going to start washing this thing, clean it up, see if we can get all that junk off the windows. Old baby butt woke up. He's freezing cold because it's a little cold in Tennessee this time of year in the mornings. But we're going to start off with the pressure washer, and then we're going to go back over it probably with the brushes after that, and then it'll be brand new again. Guy, he's too good for us this morning. He's over there chomping in the hay bale instead of hanging out with us. There's the baby calf we've been bottle feeding. She's doing good. Apparently I washed away part of the wheel. Yeah, and look how old these casings are. They're old bias ply casings. The last time this car had been titled was 1979. That's crazy. 42 years ago. I'm not even that old. So we've learned from cleaning up a bunch of junk over the years that putting bleach on it, if you have mold and mildew, is about the only answer I've found that works really well. You know, degreaser for grease, bleach for mold. That's what I always say. At least it's not super hot and sunny. I hate washing a car in the direct sun, you know. Squeezy, you're not gonna help us? Nope. Come on. Well, that did not take long. I'm telling you, this is not a very big car. We're gonna have to get a razor blade to take the lettering off there, though. All right, I'm gonna let this thing dry off, and man, the windows are not looking good. That's scaring me. Maybe we'll have to get some steel wool to them and see what that does. In my experience, this is about the only way to get these letters like this off is just get a brand new razor blade and take them off with it. Pro tip. All right, still didn't take it all off. I'm gonna try the Comet and some fine steel wool trick on all this glass and see what that does. Man, that's a heck of a marker, huh? I was just digging through this stuff. I didn't realize we had a license plate that said CUDA. I mean, how big of a win is that? Another thing I should have checked into is we had an emblem that told us what size motor was in it. It's the 1900, so that's like the biggest motor you could have gotten these things. So this thing's got a hog leg in it. I just didn't realize it had it. All these emblems, too, are aluminum. Like, they're super light, or pot metal, something. They're extremely light. They don't even feel like they're hardly in your hand. This thing just surprises me, just like the Rambler. Like, how can a car have floors that are this bad, and then the body, the outside of the body, be as solid as it is? I just don't get it, how the floors can rot out so bad. I guess it's just cars that start leaking and the water gathers in them. I don't know. Push the gas pedal, see if it pushes.
Which one's gas? This
The one on the right.
Nah?
Yeah, push it. See if it's froze up too. Now, don't break it. Don't break it.
Yeah, it froze up.
So they both froze up. Wonderful. Well, we've got a new introduction to the family here. We have a baby pig, and we named her Vaina. She's Vaina, the baby pig. So she's going to be on the channel some now. Hopefully she calms down when getting held. She don't really like to be held right now. Well, we've reached the end of another video, so time to crack a Vaina and a root beer because we couldn't find RC Cola. That worked pretty good. And check us out, Sleeper Dude 2. That's our second channel. I show a little bit of what I do for a living, some short clips of some of these cars. And we're on Instagram, Sleeper Dude 88, and on Facebook it's Sleeper Dude. And I appreciate you guys watching. You want some? I didn't down the juice this time. It's on my shirt. And we'll have future videos of this car. We're going to try to get the motor freed up, but we'll get it unloaded. We'll get some wool down in the cylinders, get that carburetor cleaned up, and we'll see if we can get it running. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. The kitty likes Vainas too.